evening and welcome to another version of Mind Mondays. Mind Mondays, as you know, is an initiative of the Mind Institute as a substitute for the Mind Summit that we used to do every year at this time, in which we had leaders from all walks of life. Our leader is Mr. Nitin Gadkari, a minister who has demonstrated immense capability of performance. Gadkari ji, thank you very much for agreeing to come to the Mind session today. आप पहले भी आए हैं Mind Summit में दो तीन बारी और आपका जो सेशन रहता है everyone enjoys because you are a very practical person, you are a very straightforward person and we like the way you approach issues with a practical outlook. And मेरे साथ जो co-moderator हैं Romal Shetty. Romal is the India head of Deloitte Consulting, one of the leading consulting firms in the world. And Romal is one of the youngest leaders that the firm of this nature has seen in a while. And in the last few months, he has done a lot of work helping many state governments, central governments in tackling and creating a positive response to the COVID-19 pandemic that has impacted everyone in the world. So मुझे पहले आपसे ये पूछना है कि you have been involved in politics or kind of politics from a very young age. आपने शाखा में जाना शुरू किया था काफी देर पहले. आपको इस तरह का इंटरेस्ट कैसे आया?
एक्चुअली मैं बचपन में तो संघ में जाता ही था, पर मैं जब स्टूडेंट बना तो मैं विद्यार्थी परिषद का काम करता था और उस समय इमरजेंसी आई. मैं 75 में मैट्रिकुलेट हुआ था, तो इमरजेंसी के खिलाफ फिर मैं एक्टिविटी में भाग लेने लगा. एक साल मैंने अपना करियर का भी उस समय छोड़ दिया और मैं उसमें एक्टिवली भाग ले रहा था. और उसी स्थिति में फिर इमरजेंसी निर्माण हुआ. तो इसके लोकतंत्र को बचाने के लिए जनता पार्टी की स्थापना हुई और जनता पार्टी से फिर विद्यार्थी परिषद से जनता पार्टी में मैं काम कर रहा था उस इलेक्शन के समय. फिर जनता पार्टी जीतने के बाद मैंने राजनीति छोड़ दी. मैं स्टूडेंट लीडर था, यूनिवर्सिटी के प्रेसिडेंट के पद के लिए भी खड़ा था और 6 वोट से आ रहा था चुनाव समय. स्वाभाविक रूप से वहां से फिर जनता पार्टी में भी आखिरी में मैं लोकतांत्रिक युवा मोर्चा करके जनता पार्टी का अधिकृत बनी. बहुत यंग स्टेज में उसमें था और उसके बाद फिर मैं राजनीति में आया, बीजेपी में आया और लगभग मेरे बहुत ही यंग एज में 26 होगा या 27 होगा, मैं 26 को मैं एक एमएलए का चुनाव पहली बार लड़ा और स्टूडेंट छोड़कर एकदम उस समय वो चुनाव हार गया मैं. और उसने मुझे एक अवसर दिया लीडर बनने का और उसके बाद फिर मैं युवा मोर्चा में, फिर भारतीय जनता पार्टी में, फिर महाराष्ट्र में मुझे मंत्री बना, एमएलसी बना मैं. एमएलसी के बाद फिर महाराष्ट्र में मंत्री बना, पार्टी का अध्यक्ष बना, विरोधी पक्ष नेता बना, दिल्ली में अध्यक्ष बना, फिर मैं आज मंत्री बना और फिर काफी राजनीति में आकर काम करने का मुझे अवसर मिला.
महाराष्ट्र की आपने बात की, सुना कि आपको गंगाधर फडणवीस जी ने आपको एनकरेज किया था टू एंटर पॉलिटिक्स, अपने देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी के फादर ने.
नहीं, वो मेरे से काफी सीनियर थे. वो जब मैं विधानसभा का चुनाव लड़ा था तो मैं देवेंद्र के घर पर ही रात को, सुबह दोपहर को खाना खाता था और उसके पिताजी हमारे पार्टी के कारपोरेटर भी थे और एमएलसी भी थे. बाद में उनको कैंसर हुआ और उनका देहांत हो गया. फिर बाई इलेक्शन हुआ, उसमें मैं खड़ा रहा तो उनके साथ भी मैं काम किया मैंने. और सबसे बात ऐसी थी कि जो सब सीनियर लोग थे मेरे से काफी, उन्होंने मुझे पार्टी का जनरल सेक्रेटरी बनाया और वास्तविक उन्होंने बनना चाहिए था पर सर ने मिलकर मुझे अवसर दिया और बाद में मैं पार्टी के काम करते करते आगे मुझे काफी काम करने का मौका मिला.
बाला साहब ठाकरे आपको बोलते थे कि आप रोड कार्य मंत्री हो, आप रोड कार्य बिल्डर हो, आप रोड बिल्डर हो. आपने बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट किए when you were PWD minister in Maharashtra. Because some of those projects are still standout projects as the first toll road, as the first high-speed highway, the first large flyover. Tell us a little bit about your experience at that time. और आपने बाला साहब से भी क्या सीखा?
देखिए, बात तो ऐसी कि जब मैं महाराष्ट्र में मंत्री बना तो हमारी सरकार आने के पहले ही बाला साहब ठाकरे जी ने कहा था कि हम मुंबई और पुणे के बीच में एक रोड बनाएंगे. पर ये चर्चा 20 एक साल से शुरू थी, पर रोड कुछ बन नहीं पा रहा था। बाद में मुंबई शहर के ट्रैफिक कंजेशन का भी प्रॉब्लम बहुत बड़ा था, और करीब उड़ान पुल सब जगह उसके फ्लाईओवर्स की आवश्यकता थी। और ये वर्ली बांद्रा सीलिंग प्रोजेक्ट, ये भी एक इम्पोर्टेंट था, क्योंकि आप दिल्ली मुंबई जानते हो ट्रैफिक कंजेशन की कितनी समस्याएं थी। तो ये सब हमारी सरकार आने के बाद, मैं उस समय जब मैं मंत्रिमंडल में आया, तो मुझे मुंडे साहब हमारे नेता थे, उन्होंने मुझे पूछा कि पावर मिनिस्ट्री और रोड मिनिस्ट्री दो है, तो आपको कौन सी चाहिए? मैंने कहा आप जो देंगे वो मैं काम करूंगा। तो उस समय एनरॉन की काफी कंट्रोवर्सी चल रही थी, तो उन्होंने कहा कि एनरॉन का सब्जेक्ट थोड़ा सा अभी इसमें मुश्किल का है, तो मुझे लगता है कि तुम सार्वजनिक बांका, मैंने रोड मिनिस्ट्री लो, जो आप देंगे वो मैं काम करूंगा। और वो रोड के साथ मेरा संबंध जुड़ गया। और मुझे ये बड़ा साहब ठाकरे जी का मेरे ऊपर बहुत प्रेम था, क्योंकि परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा होने के कारण जब वो खुश होते थे, तो उन्होंने मुझे एक बार एक अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा वाक्य एक एक्रेलिक शीट पर लेकर दिया था, जो अभी भी मैं लोगों को देता हूँ। उसमें उन्होंने लिखा था कि आई लाइक पीपल हु कैन गेट द थिंग्स। और स्वाभाविक रूप से ये जो काम होता था उसकी उनको बहुत खुशी थी, और वो बहुत बड़े दिल के थे। उनका मेरे ऊपर बहुत प्रेम था, और मेरे मन में, हृदय में भी उनके लिए बहुत प्रेम है। एक बार राज ठाकरे बहुत अच्छे फोटोग्राफर, तो हमारी सरकार चली गई। उसके बाद में एक दिन राज ने उनके ऊपर किताब लिखने के लिए उनका एक फोटो उसने फ्लावर पर वो खड़े ऐसा निकालने का तय किया। और उन्होंने बाला साहब को कहा कि ये जो माहिम में ब्रिज बना हुआ है समुद्र के उसमें, वर्ली बांद्रा सीलिंग को जोड़ता है, इसके ऊपर एक फोटो मैं आपका चाहता हूँ वो किताब में, तो आप आइए वहां पर मैं शूटिंग करूंगा। तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैं अकेला फोटो नहीं निकालूंगा, तुम नितिन को बोलो, नितिन अगर आएगा तो ही मैं फोटो दूंगा। ये ब्रिज उन्होंने तैयार किया है। और मुझे फिर राज ने फोन किया, और मैं नागपुर से स्पेशल उसके लिए मुंबई गया, और बाला साहब के साथ मेरा फोटो उन्होंने निकाला। इतना उनका दिल बड़ा था, और वो बहुत स्पष्ट वक्ता थे, राजनीति में घुलमुल बातें नहीं करते थे, स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, ट्रांसपेरेंट थे। और मुंबई और महाराष्ट्र के विकास के लिए उनकी एक अपनी विजन थी, और वो होनी चाहिए, ये उनका आग्रह था। और इसलिए जब वो, मैं उनसे जो बातें उनके मन की थी वो पूरी करने में जब काम करते हुए दिखता था, तो वो मेरी जब तारीफ भी करते थे। रोड करी, पुल करी कहते थे। और मुझे याद है कि उन्होंने बहुत मुझे सपोर्ट किया, और उनका समर्थन मिला, उनका प्रेम भी मिला। और मैंने भी अपने लाइफ में, एक बार राजनीति कुछ भी हो, कहीं भी कैसी भी चलती रहे, पर जिन लोगों के प्रति एक बार मुझे प्रेम मिला, आशीर्वाद मिले, तो मैं उनको अपने आइकॉन के रूप में मानता हूँ। अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी, बाला साहब ठाकरे और जॉर्ज फर्नांडिस, ये तीनों लोगों का मेरे जीवन पर काफी परिणाम है। शेतकरी संगठन के शरद जोशी थे, उनके भी विशेष रूप से ग्रामीण और कृषि क्षेत्र के विचारों से मैं काफी प्रभावित था। हमारे नागपुर से वर्धन साहब थे, जो कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी के प्रमुख थे। तो वैसे उनका हमारा वैचारिक तालमेल नहीं था, पर वो भी बचपन से मैं उनको सुनता था, बहुत बड़े अच्छे वक्ता थे। तो इन सब लोगों का ओवरऑल एक इम्पैक्ट था, और जो अच्छे लोग थे उनसे काफी प्रेरणा भी मिली, कन्विक्शन भी मिला, और काम करने की विजन भी मिली। तो मैं ये मानता हूँ कि अच्छे नेताओं के सानिध्य में रहकर बहुत फायदा होता है। जॉर्ज फर्नांडिस को भी मैं बहुत मानता था, बहुत ईमानदार और गरीब के लिए संघर्ष करने वाला, ऐसा उनका एक लड़ाऊ व्यक्तित्व था। ये सब जीवन के अनुभव है। अटल जी के साथ भी मुझे एक बहुत अच्छा काम करने का मौका मिला। मैं जब महाराष्ट्र में मंत्री था, तो अटल जी ने मुझे बुलाया और कहा कि ये गाँव को, जो उस समय सुंदरलाल पटवा ग्रामीण विकास मंत्री थे, और उन्होंने कहा कि आप एक ये जो योजना है गाँव को, ये रोड को जोड़ने के लिए बनाओ। और नेशनल हाईवे के लिए भी उन्होंने मुझे मांगा था एक योजना बनाकर। तब मैंने नेशनल हाईवे को जोड़ने की भी योजना उनको दी, और प्रधानमंत्री ग्राम सड़क योजना, जो आज की फ्लैगशिप स्कीम है, और अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने 15 अगस्त को घोषणा की थी। और उसके कारण 6.5 लाख गाँवों में से आज करीब 4-4.5 लाख गाँवों में पक्के मजबूत रोड बने। अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी की एक एम्बिशियस योजना बनाने का भी सौभाग्य मुझे मिला। तो अलग अलग लोगों से, जो बड़े बड़े लोग मिलते थे, उनसे मुझे कुछ ना कुछ सीखने के लिए मिलता था। और अगर व्यक्ति की भूमिका ये होती है कि भाई जो भी व्यक्ति मिले, चाहे छोटा रहे चाहे बड़ा रहे, उसकी जो भी अच्छी बात है उसको हम लोग स्वीकारें, और उसके साथ आपने सब भी उसका अनुकरण करने की कोशिश करे, तो यही एक बड़ा बनने का उपयोग होता है। मैं वैसे मीडियोकर स्टूडेंट था, मेरे बहुत कोई मेरिट वगैरह का स्टूडेंट नहीं था, पर ये जो लोगों के अनुभव से मुझे जो सीखने के लिए मिला, वही पूंजी से मैं कुछ काम कर सकता हूं।
इसीलिए आपको प्रैक्टिकल और रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड मिनिस्टर होते हैं। तो जो हमारा आज का जो सब्जेक्ट है, थीम है, वो है एन इंडिया बियॉन्ड द पैंडेमिक, री इमेजिनिंग, बिल्डिंग एंड लिविंग द ड्रीम। मेरे साथ जो को मॉडरेटर हैं, रोमन शेट्टी, बिफोर I get him, ask him a question, I want him to ask you a question first. Romal, over to you.
गडकरी जी, आपने दो बताया, फर्स्ट इलेक्शन आप हार गए थे, मतलब कॉलेज में, और फिर द नेक्स्ट इलेक्शन, और सेकंड वन लिंक टू दैट आपने बताया कि यू आर नोन, आई मीन ग्लोबली यू आर नोन एज अ मिनिस्टर हु गेट्स थिंग्स डन। गवर्नमेंट में बहुत सारे लोगों के पास आइडिया बहुत है, बट गेटिंग थिंग्स डन इज नॉट इजी। तो ये दो चीजें, जो एक तो failure, having failure, and second is getting things done. What is the secret? I mean, what makes you get things done better than most people can do?
The most important thing is, I always feel that the politics is the instrument of socio-economic reform. And being a politician, every time I feel that what is my contribution for society and for the country. And that's one of the reasons that that spirit of nationality is my main inspiration and motivation for doing works. But now, when you enter into politics, first of all, it's the most important thing is electoral success is very important. And politics is a game of chances. So actually, I'm not a professional politician. I'm not only career oriented. I'm 90% I am conviction oriented. And 10% after all, I always think about the politics. So what my feeling is, politics is means, in Hindi we name it as Rajakaran, the Rajniti. Well, I always feel that it is not Rajniti means power politics. That is not the true meaning of politics. Rajniti, Rashtra-niti, Loka-niti, Dharma-niti. So the Samaj Karan, social work is truly speaking.
कर्म नीति भी साथ में जी.
Actually, you can think about Lokmanya Tilak, नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस, वो सब राजनीतिज्ञ थे और वो राष्ट्र कारण करते थे. The problem is that it is because of various factors. So much deterioration is there. Now the power politics, election लड़ना, जीतना, हारना, एक सरकार गिराना, दूसरी गिराना, इधर जाना, उधर जाना, इसी को केवल राजनीति कहा जाता है. This is not the true meaning. We need to change the definition of politics. And politics is a socio-economic transformation. So I always feel that politics is a field where we need some convictions by which we can make socio-economic transformation, and that is the inspiration and motivation. So this is Rashtra Karan, Vikas Karan, and Samaj Karan. So basically, in my own area also, I'm doing social work. I'm very much happy when I'm doing something for the poor people. I already in my this 15 years, I'm doing giving at least make heart operations at least more than 15,000. I was doing the medical services for the poor people. Then I'm running 1100 Ekal Vidyalayas. I'm the chairman of the trust. And all Vidyalaya are in the Naxalite belt of Maharashtra, particularly Vidarbha, the tribal area. We have 950 teachers. And we are not taking any grants from the government. And that is now 19,000 students are the students in our schools. And we are teaching them. It is something I feel that we should do something for the society, for the poor people. गांव गरीब मजदूर और किसान, उसके लाइफ में अगर हम कोई ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ला सकते हैं तो हमारे आने में फायदा है और उनके जाने में फायदा है. अगर हम आने के बाद अगर ये नहीं कर सकते, केवल वादे करते रहेंगे, तो ना हमारे आने में कोई फायदा है, ना उनके जाने में कोई फायदा है. तो वे अडवाणी जी कहते थे, वी आर ए पार्टी विथ ए डिफरेंस. सो डेफिनेटली दैट इज द कन्विक्शन. और यही राष्ट्र के पुनर्निर्माण का, नेशनल रिकंस्ट्रक्शन इज द मिशन फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस, एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली द स्पिरिट. एंड व्हेन Anything when we can make it, it is a great pride for the country. Now I'm making Mumbai Delhi Express Highway. The cost of this highway is 1 lakh crore, and it is a 12-lane axis control cement concrete road. It is totally a green alignment, and already land acquisition is completed, and we have already awarded at least more than 60% of the work is awarded. And I'm confident 2 months of period we will award all the works, and within 3 years we will make this highway, and we can go from Delhi to Mumbai by 12 hours or 12 and a half hour.
Let me ask you.
We will go by only with 26 hours. So exactly, this is a great feeling for me. We are doing something for the country. We are making road for Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, and Yamnotri, all season road. We are spending 12,000 crore on that road. And now from Pithoragarh, we are connecting road to Manas Sarovar. 85% of the work has already been completed. And that will be one thing I'm waiting for that day, that we will take Prime Minister with us and we will go to Manas Sarovar by Pithoragarh. Something, these are my feelings, that these are the expectation of the people of the country. And if we can do it, nothing like that, the feeling of nationality, feeling of that spirit is the inspiration and motivation for which where I am working for that. And it's a great satisfaction when the road is completed. I feel that this is a great thing for the country where it is going to be completed.
Truly,
It's really great pride and pleasure for me that I got opportunity to do it for that.
Yes, truly transformational for India. And that is the reason I said what I said earlier about what you have done in different ministries. You have two very important portfolios right now. One, of course, is what you mentioned just now, the road transport and highways. And second is the MSME industry. Both in different ways are absolutely critical for India. Infrastructure creates jobs while infrastructure is on. Once projects are complete, it makes life easier for millions of people in its own way. And MSME is the engine for growth for any country. Largest amount of employment comes there, largest export happens from there. They are the backbone of industry. While large companies provide branding, design, technology, R&D, but a lot of the manufacturing and supply chain actually happens in these MSMEs. So tell us your view right now, based on the setback that we have received from the pandemic, because work did get shut down, economies did get affected. We've lost your image. Are you able to tell us what is the likely outcome now? What is it that you as a government are doing to bring both of these back on stream?
One thing is very clear, that we are facing the problem, this pandemic, COVID-19. It is not only our country is facing this problem.
Of course.
The whole world is facing this problem. First of all, my request to all of you, that we need positivity in the mind of the people.
Correct.
Because there is a lot of negativity, frustration, and there is no confidence. That is the problem. So by positivity and self-confidence, we need to create in the mind of the people. Without that, we cannot fight this war. Before 47 also, our country faced a lot of problems. After 47 also, we have faced a lot of problems, natural calamities. Then 3 war with Pakistan, 1 war with China. Then we are facing the problem of terrorism. Then we are also facing the problem of Naxalite Maoism. But at the same time, the most important thing with our country is the history indicates that we will know the problem and go ahead. So now this is also a problem, and I am confident that with the positivity and with the self-confidence, we will win this war against COVID-19. At the same time, we need to win economic war. That is equally important. And we are facing the problem. And everywhere in the life, either it is personal life, social life, political life, or business life, anywhere, everywhere there are challenges, there are problems. But here is a taste of a leadership, that when a person, when he change problems into opportunities, that is the taste of the leadership.
Absolutely.
Some of the people leadership is like that. They convert opportunities into the problems. So exactly this is the challenge, a blessing in disguise. I know that we are very much cautious about the problem because problems are very crucial and complicated. But at the same time, I am confident that with positivity, we'll win over this war. And that for the reason that we need to plan the policy. Now, every day we are facing the problem. The people are informing me, these are our problems. And our attitude is very positive, and we always try to resolve that all the issues. So now today we are trying for that, and we are doing a lot of things. And particularly our priority is rural agriculture, tribal sector. Our priority is making this 115 aspirant districts where per capita income is very low, where their GDP growth contribution is very, very negligible. And that is one of the negativity with Indian economy. So now this is the problem point we should concentrate on this field, first thing. Second thing, for this field, what you are saying is very important, that presently the MSME sector, this contributes something 30% of the growth of our country is from GDP growth is from MSME. Up till now, we have created 11 crore jobs, and 48% of the export of our country is basically from MSME. So naturally, we are now taking a lot of decisions. We changed the definition of MSME.
That was very welcome, by
There
the way.
was a micro industries limit
Yes.
was investment was 25 lakh and turnover was 10 lakh. Now we change it and make it investment 1 crore and turnover 5 crore. For small, investment was 5 crore, now convert to 10 crore. And turnover 2 crore, convert to 50 crore. And for medium scale industry, investment was 10 crore. Now we have taken it as a 50 crore, and turnover is 5 crore. We have taken 250 crores, and export turnover is excluded. And previously there was a classification with manufacturing enterprises and service enterprises. Now there is only one head. The classification is manufacturing and services. So because this only one decision, also there is a lot of change. We are
Yes.
taking a lot of economic decision to support the industry. The first important thing where I need your cooperation and cooperation of your friend, who is a young dynamic leader, that we need to reduce imports and increase our export. For that reason, upgradation of technology is very important. Without compromise with the quality, we need to reduce the production cost. We
Yes.
need to reduce logistic cost, production cost, labor cost, capital cost, by which we can be more competitive in international market. And now where we need to plan the policy that how we can increase our export, create more employment potential, and eradicate poverty by creating employment potential.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, we have to find out the import substitute for that, and where people like you, people like Mr. Shetty, they can contribute and they can give us a good vision for the country, where we
So-
need your cooperation for that.
So the two things I have been saying often, one is that we should use this crisis. There is always an opportunity in crisis. Absolutely. And two, this is a time for Indian business and industry to earn itself much more efficient on cost, on quality, on productivity, on automation, using technology. So let me ask Romo this question. Romo, as a consultant advisor, I know you have been doing a lot of work in this pandemic period, advising both industry and governments. What would your advice be at this moment, taking up from what the minister is saying? What are the 2 or 3 key things that we should be attempting to do as industry, as a people, as a nation, for India to get forward in this initiative?
So, great question. I think there are 3 or 4 shifts that we are seeing in the market. One is clearly digitization, where every business is reimagining how to digitize and how to actually service the clients. Second, we're seeing is clearly the world doesn't want to have concentration risk of having everything in a particular place. They are really relooking, and I do think India has a significant potential to look at some of those industries. We should not necessarily target every industry, but we should target some of those industries where we have both domestic capacity as well as an audience, as well as an export capability as well. The third is, I think, this whole virtualization and supply chain resilience, because today you don't know which country will shut down at what city will shut down. So building global supply chain and India being a hub for supply chain resilience also.
And
I think
flexibility in the whole system.
absolutely. So digital is one thing that I do think can help Indian companies leapfrog much more significant and make India a much more attractive destination than anybody else globally.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I completely agree. Okay, over to you to ask the question. Yeah, you go, please.
Gadkari, I know that this is close to your heart. You know, your ministry has asked for inclusion of hydrogen-enriched CNG as an automotive fuel. So, but what does this mean for the existing CNG infrastructure that exists in the country? So, will it require major upgradation across the supply chain?
First of all, you are absolutely correct. You know that what is the economics in it. As compared with diesel, the CNG is very cheaper, less pollution, and we need import substitute cost-effective, pollution-free and indigenous policy. For long term, more than 1200 kilometer, we need to take this LNG as a fuel, and for the short term, we need to take CNG for the city transport. We can use CNG for that. So now this is very good and attractive. For taking one diesel truck changing into LNG, it will take somewhere the cost of 10 lakh rupees. But within 2 years, the economics is so attractive that you will get back your money what you are invested for changing diesel to LNG. Now in CNG also, there is also the same thing is there. Now we have a source that we can make CNG from cotton straw, wheat straw, rice straw, bagasse. That is the biomass. Even we can convert waste into wealth. That is the municipal's organic waste. We can get methane from that, and by putting methane from CO2, we'll get the CNG. So there is a different type of technologies are available. And today now, if we go on this route, our present import of the petroleum is 7 lakh crore. And I feel that 100%, 100% I feel that this is the time for the country now to we can create more employment potential and import substitute, reduce exports, creating employment potential in the country, and that will be a great saving. I'm giving an example. Presently, a tractor, particularly of a diesel tractor, a farmer is using diesel cost for a year is 60,000 rupees. By using CNG, he will at least save 30,000 rupees per year. So that can be a great saving for the poor farmer. So this is the way by which we are now changing the thing. We are already making ethanol economy. The presently ethanol economy size is 20,000 crore. And now our idea is to make it 1 lakh crore. We are giving permission for making ethanol from food grain. That is from rice curd. Even rice can be used because we have surplus rice, surplus sugar. In place of sugar, we can convert sugarcane juice into ethanol. And in Brazil, USA, and Canada, they have Flex Engine, all the brands which are already present in India. And particularly, I will request you that already Bajaj and TVS already they manufacture bike and scooter on bioethanol. So I am also expecting from you that you go into details. Now government is going to give permission for ethanol pumps, and ethanol rate is only 55 to 60 rupees per liter as compared with the petrol. And in the rural area, our sugar factory will produce ethanol. There will be pump and they will use your scooters and bikes. That is going to save the imports. That is going to save the foreign exchange. And the ethanol is a green fuel. Yes. So on that line, this is a mission and passion for me. As a nationalist, I am working from last many days on it. Today, when I was talking about it from before 12 years, no one was ready to believe me. Today, everyone is believing it. Prime Minister is insisting it. And I am confident that the day will come that diversification of agriculture towards energy and power sector is the most important option for Indian economy. And we are also on that path. I am very much hopeful about it and positive. The day will come that our agriculture will get great support. Farmers will get sustainability and growth, and 100% pollution point of view, we will reduce our pollution.
Let me get to another aspect of these very large, very ambitious and wonderful projects which, by the way, we are all highly, highly appreciative of. I think if India is to be a world-class nation amongst the leaders in the world, we have to have the infrastructure of that nature, because only then can our industry and our people compete globally on an equal footing with all other nations. The challenge we have also had, you mentioned at the beginning, is financing. One is cost of money. Second is sheer access to money is being limited. Do you think now is time? We have, on the one hand, $500 billion of foreign exchange reserves. Do you think it's time for us to set up at least one, if not two, sovereign wealth funds focused on big projects in India and also investing in projects overseas which are of interest to India, as many other nations have done? The Middle East has done it, Norway has done it, Canada has done it, Singapore has done it super successfully. We have an opportunity right now. आपके मिनिस्ट्री में ही, फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री में काफी देर से डिस्कशन चल रही थी, 20 लाख करोड़ का आपका खर्चा है हर साल का। एक 10 लाख करोड़ के कॉर्पस के साथ क्या एक डेवलपमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन बन सकती है जो फोकस ऑन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो, दैट वी आर एबल टू रन इट प्रोफेशनली, independent of the government department, but focused on developing the economy, especially from the infrastructure point of view. Is that a possibility, you think?
You are absolutely correct. We have already taken a decision that for MSME also,
Yes.
we are giving fund of 50,000 crore. And where idea is the good MSME, those who have good track record for bank, good turnover in bank, and GST record is good, and their income tax record is good, their export record is good. We will, by simplifying methodology, we can give them rating. Now we are supporting them. If they go to capital market before that, up to 15 crore, we can give them as a equity. They raise the capital on the capital market. Even the foreign investor can invest them to stock exchange. That is our line to get more investment for MSME, foreign investment and FDI. Now the 100% FDI is allowed in the infrastructure. There is no problem. So now presently the problem in Indian economy is, honestly, I'm not the economist, but the liquidity is the problem. And now infrastructure, where there is a tremendous potential. I'm giving you an example. When last 5 years, when I'm minister for shipping and ports, my budget was only 800 crore per year. The 5 years budget comes to 4,000 crore. But when in Sagarmala, we have prepared the program of 16 lakh crores, and it's a great pleasure and pride for me. We have completed the project more than 6,50,000 crore with public-private investment. In the road sector, I don't have any problem. Even we are now going ahead. Our present toll income is 28,000 crore, and my idea is to take it up to 1 lakh crore within up to end of 5 years. So that this is, we have AAA rating. We can raise the money. We can give good returns. And that is the reason that in infrastructure also there is the availability. Even in the airports, ports, waterways, railway, bullet trains, then power sector, there are the huge potential. And you are absolutely correct. We need to find out some idea, which are the reserve funds with Reserve Bank. We need to, how it can be done. It can be definitely the finance ministry, and Reserve Bank is the appropriate authority for that. But as I feel that we need to plan in a way by which increase the liquidity in the market, by which we will create more employment potential, we will increase the growth rate, and we will increase the employment potential by which we can create sustainability. And that is exactly the most important thing for the country. So on your line, you are absolutely correct. I am also supporting this view. But I'm not the expert that how it can be done to get it done. There may be Reserve Bank has to take the decision for that.
Well, there are ways to do it, and if you like, I'm happy to send you a note which our own think tank has developed, and a way to make it a win-win for everyone. The government puts in the initial capital as the first promoter of this fund, and you attract capital worldwide. As you know, the return on capital worldwide is very low. There are many countries on which it's negative right now. If you put money in a bank in many countries in Europe or Japan, you get negative returns. So you have to give them money. So for investors there, India is a great opportunity right now because we have real promise of actual projects, actual consumption, and high growth over the next 25, 30 years, which is visible. So government, after putting this, will gain, the projects will get completed, jobs will get created, and the multiplier on the overall economy can be tremendous right now. Because both things are a challenge. One, despite the effort by government and Reserve Bank, today it is a challenge for industry, especially for small industry, to still get money from banks and to get it at a rate which is reasonable for them. Because please remember, cost is also important if we have to compete, and all our industry has to compete globally, including small industry. That's the only way India can become a global nation. Romal, over to you. Your question.
Gadkari ji, I mean, we just taking on the issue of liquidity. Clearly, NBFCs have a big role for all the MSMEs, right? Most of the NBFCs today have a local base. They have developed an understanding of the business and possess before this crisis a better credit risk appetite. Now there's complete risk aversion, and NBFCs are in trouble. So what do you think needs to be done quickly so that this credit flow can improve or be restored to the MSMEs?
I think the role of NBFC is very important. Already government has now giving something 35,000 crore as a equity and 40,000 crore as a liquidity. It is in the package. I am feeling that, but at the same time, my suggestion to the people, particularly who are related with NBFCs, they need to take foreign capital with the low cost. That can be a great thing. Second thing, we have a discussion with Muhammad Yunus, Professor Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel Award winner. So the IIT people and some of the people organized that. That was a really a good thing for me. It's a great inspiration. Now we are now preparing. After that, we need to get approval from finance and cabinet also. That social microfinance institutions, and they will only finance up to 10 lakh rupees. So this can be a game changer. To get finance to the small people, it is going to create more employment potential. So now we are planning for that, and what you are telling to me is very, very important, that the small financial institution role is very important. We are expecting more cooperation from the banks. That is very important. Now the banks are depositing money in Reserve Bank with 2% interest. Now 9 lakh crore they deposited. In place of that, if they can think about it to make this fund like what Mr. Munjal is suggesting us, on the line of that, if we can plan it, it can be a great thing for our economy. And we are trying, but actually here we need to get formulate the policy with the cooperation of finance ministry and the Reserve Bank. So 100% we need to pursue this issue, and I will also try my level best at how to get it done for that. And I am really with what Mr. Munjal is telling to us. I am supporting his views, and this is exactly the time for the country that we need to go on that line.
So let me ask you the last question. I know we are running out of time, Minister. Last week we had the finance minister on this same session, and I asked her a question about labor reforms, land reforms. क्योंकि अगर हमारे को competitive होना है, तो all factors of production have to become competitive. So she said, we are very keen, but we have left it to the states. My question to you is, as central government, you have enough ways to influence their decision making. How far will you go to use this influence to get the states to agree to do the appropriate reform that is required, which protects labor interest, but also allows industry and jobs to grow, which creates the cost of land, which is viable for India as the kind of economy it is. As you know, on a power purchase parity, India's cost of land is one of the highest in the world today. And nobody has been able to find a justification except the kind of regulations that we have followed for many, many decades and the methods that we have put into place, including for land acquisition, land transfers. This has been one of the most complex transactions in India is land. And people are even get scared of dealing with this. What is it you think we can do to create a freedom for industry to operate by simplifying these? And I'm including the states now.
Presently, we are working on one idea. The thing is finalized. The idea is National Land Bank. The vacant land, whatever land is present in the country, on the basis of that, we can make the record of state land bank, district land bank, and land bank from various fields. there are some of the lands which are now of no use. And I want to suggest, particularly the major industries, that you should go into the small area. Now I am giving you example. We are making Chambal Express Highway. It starts from Kota going up to Etawah through this Bheen, Murena, near to Chambal area. So the land is available. 80% land is belong to government. So now we are planning with government of Madhya Pradesh to making industrial clusters. And I suggest them, I'm not declaring it, but it's only my suggestion to the chief minister in the meeting, that you declare that those who are ready to invest here, we will give them land free of charge, 1 rupees. So this can be a great thing that people will come there. And the power rates should be reasonable. And if the land get reasonably on 1 rupees and the power is rate is reasonable, it can be nothing. It's only 4 hour distance from Delhi, 4.5 hour. This all area is. So naturally, it is going to attract good investment. So you are absolutely correct. The present time is we need to reduce land cost. We need to reduce logistic cost. We need to reduce the capital cost. Without that, we cannot be competitive in international market. That is very important. And now, fortunately, we have got the land which is available at the name as the government land. So nothing is there. Even if we are going to use that land to create employment for the people of that area, which is going to accelerate the economic growth in that area, it will work as a growth engine. So exactly this is the line. We are trying for that. And I feel that now when there is a benefits for the poor people, naturally in the democracy, all the state government will also adopt this policy and we will go on that path. But actually, we have to accept one thing, that we have got a democratic system. That is, some of the works are with the central government, some of the works with the state government. There is state list, there is a central list, and there is a concurrent list.
Yes.
At the same time, there are different type of government elected by the people. But we need to even talk with them, to discuss with them. And the eradication of poverty is a challenge for the country. It is a challenge for all political party and the leadership. And for that reason, we have to create more industry. For industry, we need capital investment. Without that, we cannot create industry. Water, power, transport, and communication. Without that, we cannot make industries. And the industries are there, we can create employment potential. And by employment potential, we can create more per capita income and GDP growth. And 100% that is going to create sustainability. The ultimate mission is eradication of poverty. So on the line of that, we need to work for that. This is the time for the country. And I feel that when there is a success to in the one state, other states will definitely going to accept that policy.
While your time has run out, I'm very tempted to ask you one question. If you'll give us just 2 minutes more.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you.
You can take 5 to 10 minutes, no problem.
Thank you. Perfect. Do you think it is possible in India to create a situation which is, by the way, prevalent in many democracies? Because we have used democracy as an excuse many times of being able to do some things and also but not being able to do something. Both times democracy has been used by India over a period of time. In most other countries, the government in power and the opposition actually run almost like a parallel system, where the government consults the opposition on many major policy issues, and they agree on a few items which both believe are good for the country and the citizens of the country. Do you think for India it's ever possible for the parties in government and the principal opposition parties, both at the center and in the state, to come to an agreement on 8, 10, 12 things which they believe are good for India, which will be supported inside and outside of parliament and assemblies, and the politics can go on? There are hundreds of other things over which you can continue the politicking.
You are absolutely correct. Politics for progress and development, which is going to give the result of socio-economic transformation, and which is in the interest of the poor people of the society, where we are definitely on the line that we need good dialogue and cooperation, coordination, and communication between the ruling party and opposition party. You are absolutely correct. Exactly, I feel that this is the appropriate thought. But you know the practical politics now, we are facing a lot of consequences problems and other things. But somewhere the qualitative reform in the democratic system, in the parliament system, where we are committed for a dialogue. And I always remember the example of Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He is actually has a role of opposition leader in parliament and his role of prime minister. We always remember, and he is the icon for all of us. So this is the time that we need cooperation, coordination, and communication between all the parties